Hey, check it.
Very civilized.
Check it.
Now, he was getting his
Put the
words
place
on. He was talking very civilized in comparison to 21 Savage. What is these people trying to do? Are they trying to get Jim Jones arrested, maybe reopening the case or building more to his case? I mean, why are they bringing this information up? And it happened so long ago. And why is WACK100 talking about it at the end of the day? Now, do you guys think Jim Jones would actually come out and speak to the public and give an explanation on his cases to the world? I don't think so. Sometimes your personal information should be left off the internet. I don't think Jim Jones
I said, yo, let's go over here and talk.
Now, Wack has to deal with a lot in this past week. Now, he has to deal with 21 Savage's crew in Atlanta and other areas because they're spread out. He has to deal with Jim Jones' crew. Now, not only
my
in
people
New
call
York,
me if
Jim
I wanted
Jones'
something
crew,
to happen,
Jim
it would have
Jones
been
is
happening. But I don't have no problems with you.
Now, he got the Zoes.
But you see, on the internet, it's always something different.
Can't come to Atlanta. He can't come to Miami. He might have to stay out the West Coast. And from what I'm seeing and what Mel Matrix said on that phone call, he's saying that the West Coast doesn't even accept WACK100 like that. But here's my thing. WACK100 is a very close ally to It was funny and informative because he did a lot of podcasts.
Hey, nah, let's just leave it like that. He said,
he
said this in Spanish. He
said,
said,
and I always got
yo,
some more
I know you
information
be here
about
all the
the
time.
entertainment
My
industry.
people
But
call
now,
me.
this is
Know what I'm
simply
saying?
getting dangerous. Now, ain't nobody been trolling or giving out this much personal information since this guy 6ix9ine himself. The only thing with 6ix9ine, he had the 9 Trays backing him. They were very active, and Tekashi 6ix9ine moved strategically through these streets back before he got locked up. Now he's a federal informant. Nobody's gonna do anything.
Shotty called me. Fuck. You know what Shotty told me? Shotty said, act.
You run your mouth too.
Yeah, I know, I'm gonna keep it.
But when I run my
He
mouth,
said,
I'm
act.
ready
He
for
said,
whatever.
he said, yo, and I've told you.
Let me ask you something.
Even while he's in prison. He said,
Let me ask you something.
I'm dead.
he said, I know I ain't talked to you in a little while, but
You went to Crenshaw and Slauson, and I got it.
he said, you really out here pushing this narrative right now,
When
man?
I tell you I'm from my culture,
I believe is that
So
what
I said,
listen,
whoa,
when I
what
tell
are you
you I'm
talking
from my culture, I'm a real power.
He said,
But it
he's
takes
like, I
blood,
see what you're
power,
doing with your
rules,
friend.
right? As a representation
Obviously.
of my culture.
And by the way, I don't shout it.
All of us made each other who we were.
But I stopped him. I said, whoa, Shotty.
Stories, whatever, right? You telling me?
It's my homie.
You would say, hey,
But they ain't no
you rolling
concerted or like
on y'all block in front of that
type of
Nipsey
effort
shit
to push on
tomorrow
narrative.
at
He's like, yo,
4:30 p.m.
yeah, man, y'all trying to change the narrative, and I'm like, yo, Shotty, you could speak at any time. Now, let me just say this off top, chat, and this is where the chat niggas is gonna
y'all
reign.
want come kill me?
I said, Shotty, we talked a long time ago, and I won't get into some of these details. Me and Shotty talked multiple times, and Shotty, I remember Shotty said, ask me anything, and I asked him a bunch of stuff, and Shotty told me some stuff, and I said, damn. I said, I don't feel like I'm in the middle of 6ix9ine and Shotty, but it gets me to realize which person's what. And I went back to 6ix9ine, and I told him, I said, I remember I was in a ShopRite parking lot. I had people in my car, and I walked out of the car, and I had no speakerphone. I said to 6ix9ine, I said, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro, because I could tell 6ix9ine could tell that maybe I didn't believe everything he was saying, but I was like, he said, ask me what you want to ask me. And I said, yo, I talked to Shotty. He said, I know you told me you talked to Shotty. I said, he told me certain shit that as you want. Anything. And I'm going to answer them. I'm going to ask my chat. And by the way, if you watch this anywhere else, if you're not in my chat room or if you're not a chat nigga, I really don't care what you think. I never really care. I'm going to ask my chat niggas, what do you think I should ask Shotty? He's going to come out this week. I'm going to put out a video of me asking Shotty that. Whatever questions. I'll tell you this. Shotty looked at me and said, yo, that interview, that podcast you did on Spotify, man, that shit bullshit. I said, why? He said, I said, 'Cause 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 I said fuck with that nigga WACK100 talking about. That nigga 6ix9ine was no civilian. That nigga, and he's like, yo, listen. He's like, until I seen that nigga name on paperwork, I really didn't think that nigga wasn't gonna hold it down. Basically, he's saying that I never thought that nigga was gonna snitch. That's what Shotty told me. He's like, yo, it told me a lot. I'm trying to remember some of the shit. He's like, yo, all that civilian shit, that is out the window. This nigga knew how we were getting it down.
I don't know what your issue with me is, bro. The kid the one called you a snitch.
I'm also tell you this verbatim when he said, Ack. He said, Ack, I don't blame that boy. And he told my 6ix9ine. He said, I don't blame that boy for me sitting in the cell. He said, nigga, I moved around as a gangster. He said, I was moving around that at any time, if a nigga played with me, I would have laid a nigga out. Flat out. And I would have done 20 years. He said, every nigga, he said, if you look at that indictment, every nigga that's with me, they were down to do a 20. Which means we were down to take 20 years if a nigga play with us, and we got to lay him down straight up. So don't think we in here like just like, oh, this nigga told her. No, nobody even thinking about, that's what he told me. He said, nobody, he says, nobody is in here thinking that 6ix9ine is the reason why we're here. It's like, no. We all knew we signed up for some shit.
How do you know? It was
if we got caught up on some
name,
shit,
like a rolling 60,
or if we got in a situation where we had to lay a nigga down, and we're gonna get caught up by the legal system,
That's what
we
I'm
gonna take
telling
them
you.
20 years.
So who
He
told
said,
you?
he said, I came in this shit with 20 years. I'm gonna be very. That's what he exactly told me.
Who told you Nipsey said that?
So he's saying, I don't give a. He's like, yo, I just don't like the narrative being shifted.
It's making you believe
that
all the 6
we were taking advantage of this
us to
nigga.
move with you. After that, they probably
This nigga came in, and he was one of us.
Could tell you the
And
movement of a
I
rolling 60, bro.
what I said to him?
You and my coach, you don't even understand.
I said,
Them niggas been enemies 50 years.
yo, I said, yo, Shotty,
Motherfucker,
because Shotty was like, yo,
you-
because he was lumping me like, I said,
these
Shotty,
niggas
you
moving
know I ain't
on
know
you.
a lot of this shit. I said, Shotty, I'm still finding out some shit that y'all was doing now.
What you mean?
And I said, yo, Shotty, you know some niggas is not a part of that. Like, I wouldn't know
mean?
this and third.
What you said
And
once
he said,
and
yo,
twice.
and so I looked at him, I said, yo, part of what Wack is saying is that y'all niggas knew that nigga wasn't about that shit. That's what Wack is saying.
Let me give you something. If
And
that shot
Shotty said
was
to me, he
called,
said,
right?
yo,
Nipsey wouldn't
he
have
said,
been
act.
So why Nipsey name was involved?
Nipsey wouldn't. Who involved?
We knew
The Hoovers?
from he's like, yo, you could never know what a nigga is really about until you're around him. And it's like, you were around that nigga, and that nigga made it seem like he was about that shit. That nigga was a
Don't
gangster.
say it to be
Straight
true.
up.
Don't say it to be true, because you got manipulated.
Essentially, what he's saying is that
Manipulation is for the mind of
we
a fool.
didn't co-sign or say this nigga's a blood, knowing he about to snitch on us and
Sons,
tell us.
listen to me.
We
Because
co-sign
you
this
were
nigga
manipulated. They
as
manipulated you to
a
think about it.
blood
Only thing
who
I'm clearing up here
is in the same shit, who is co-signed some of the same shit, who's encouraging crimes that we into. And yeah, I don't want to speak too much for Shotty, but I told Shotty, I said, yo, let me reposition myself again. I'm a platform. I've talked to you multiple times. And by the way, he said this about his, because I was shocked. At the interview, 6ix9ine passed me his phone, and it was Treyway, Shotty's account, that messaged him. But it was Shotty's son. Now, 6ix9ine eventually said that Shotty's son was asking for help. He told me, he said, yo, Ack, you know why my son been messaging 6ix9ine? Because he want to fucking fade. He want to beat that nigga's ass. He's like, yo, that nigga said he's taking fades. Well, my son, who's of age, want to fight him. That's what Shotty told me. I'm going to be very honest. You know me, I'm going to keep it 100 always. And 6ix9ine my nigga, but, bro, like, when it comes to this, Right. This is one of those things that, nigga, I'm not no street nigga. I can't just ride with 6ix9ine or ride with whatever because of whatever. I'm like, yo, I told Shotty, I said, listen, that's why, you've talked to me. You could use the platform. You could say whatever you got to say. 6ix9ine said what he had to say. I would be a certain type of nigga if I say, well, 6ix9ine can say whatever you want to say because he's against you. But if you want to say some shit, you can't say. So he said, ask me any question. So I'm going to give y'all niggas 15 minutes. Ask me any question. And it's going to be later this week. I'm going to answer it. But he's like, I'm going to just tell you right now. I'm not going for WACK. He was upset at WACK. He said, I ain't going for WACK trying to label this nigga as a civilian when this nigga was literally on some gang shit with us. That's what Shotty said. Facts.